the sort of, things we decided to work with on this one was, we said that they don't recognize unique voices. It's very much like, like Alexa, yeah, where you can get into some fun situations where someone will say, hey Alexa, order fucking a new plunger or whatever.
They say that like on the radio or something, and
then
activates.
Suddenly everyone has new plungers.
That would be such a good prank for real life.
And we basically said that everything. So we said what? Everything that has electronics in it definitely is voice activated. And then just in general things where it makes sense, like doors and stuff as well, yeah. Probably. Yeah. Kind of play it by ear. Like a hammer is not going to be voice activated. A plunger, because apparently everything is plungers now, is not going to be voice activated. But things where it makes sense.
It'd be pretty funny if a hammer was voice activated.
Maybe the plunger, once inserted into the toilet, is then voice activated.
Oh yeah, so you place it in the toilet and then you just go plunge,
plunge, plunge, plunge, plunge.
No, you gotta go up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down.
That actually does sound incredible.
And the toilet seat's also gonna do it.
All right, so I sort of went through just like daily life. So first things first.
The goal was to get that wacky, like, once you start talking, everything starts going off. The fun version. Like, you can imagine a world where everything's voice activated and it's like tuned to your voice or specific commands, and it's just nothing's interesting.
Yeah. So wake up in the morning, your alarm goes off. I personally already most of the time just yell at my alarm clock anyway, so things aren't really going to change on that front.
That makes it easier. Actually.
Right? Like, I guess the one downside is that it's probably a lot easier to just, like, accidentally snooze when you just have to, like, mumble out snooze. So I guess you're going to be late more often.
Oh, but yeah, no, not to segue again, but I actually had, freshman year of college, my alarm clock was motion sensing, where if I wave my arm over my alarm clock, it snoozed for 10 minutes.
I had one of those once, and yeah, it's a very bad idea.
I was an hour and a half late to class without, like, consciously realizing it.
That's amazing. All right, so, you're out of bed, whatever. Head over to the bathroom. One of the things that I realized is that for both, like, shower and even just, like, brushing your teeth and stuff, setting the temperature of your water is going to be interesting, because it's going to be very just, like, plain hot or cold, literally, with the outcome being you, like, scalding yourself.
Oh, you don't really have that precision either.
No, it's just like hotter, colder. No, hotter, until eventually you get to something like livable and you just like deal with it because you're tired of yelling at your shower.
Yeah,
I feel like
everyone who's living with you can hear it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, everyone in your building will be doing it.
Right. Yeah. If you just like put your ear to the water pipe, you're just gonna hear like echoing through it like hotter, colder, hotter. So I guess getting ready like bathroom stuff isn't that bad. I had this very funny mental image of like if you had an electric toothbrush, like trying to turn it off while it's like still in your mouth and just like mumbling out like off until it finally turns off, but not a whole lot there. Making breakfast is actually pretty great. Because I feel like really just all the stuff involving getting ready, things being voice activated is awesome. Because I just don't want to be doing any of it in the morning. So like, as much as I can just like yell at stuff and like have things happen, that's like one fewer thing I have to actually do myself. That's great. So I don't really care that like when I say like cook, like my microwave, oven, and toaster all turn on. Like one of them is the thing I'm trying to cook with. So it saved me some time.
It's not going to be great in the summertime, but
it's not. That's true. Yeah. Well, on the bright side, your AC might also turn on. So, hey, there you go.
Yeah, it's a problem if everything is activated by the word on.
Yeah, I feel like you can't have things be activated by just the word on. You have to be a little more specific, probably.
Yeah.
I guess the bigger problem is actually the word off. On's not too bad.
They're both bad.
This is like my favorite part of the question is just being like on and just like your world lights up or off
right.
And your world descends into darkness.
So I figure, yeah, so getting out of your apartment, it's not too bad overall. It's some bad things, some good things. Overall, not too bad. Maybe a little more efficient even. But then you have to get to work, and this is where things can get a little hairy. If you take public transit, it's not that bad. Actually, taking it is pretty much the same. The one difference you have is that it's going to be louder. Because everyone's still going to be on their phones and shit, but they're all just going to be, like, talking to their phones.
How would a phone work?
I think it's just, like, you just always have, like, Siri or the equivalent going, basically. That's just the only way you can do anything. And then what I eventually realized is that probably the sort of like accepted protocol on like public transit. It's just going to be to like whisper to your phone, because otherwise you're going to like say Facebook, and everyone's phone is going to go to Facebook. People are going to like yell at you, which is just going to make your phones do other shit. So everyone's going to be whispering. So it's actually going to be really creepy to ride public transit. It's just going to be like constant whispering.
Creepy-er, you mean?
Well, yeah, okay. So creepier. Overall, public transit, not too bad. I'm going to assume that there's going to be a like soundproof compartment for the conductor, so no one can like fuck with the bus or train or whatever, because that seems like a good move. If you drive to work, it's tricky.
Driving is a very complicated task.
There's a lot of things that go into driving, and a lot of them involve things like reaction time that maybe aren't great when you have to like say what you want to happen. So our one saving grace here is that there's been a lot of progress recently on like automatic braking and lane detection and stuff like that. So it's not as bad as it could be, but we're probably going to rely on those systems a lot. I will also assume that we'll be working very hard on getting like fully automated cars out to everyone, because that just seems like a good idea.
Yeah, that will make it a lot easier, because then you won't be like drive forward. You'll just be like go here and it'll go
right
there.
Yeah, and it'll go there. That's much more doable. And you have to be very careful about what you say to your phone while you're being driven places.
Yeah.
Ben, I have a genius idea for cars. Just came to me. What if instead of being like accelerate, brake, you just made race car noises?
Okay, so my original plan was basically using cruise control, but I like your idea way better.
Where you just like what was that like way back original internet, that race car where it was just like the guy making the race car noises to a static picture of a race car.
I cannot remember what it was, but yeah.
And it was the most hilarious thing. It was literally just captioned like "Don't laugh," and I could not handle myself.
This is even like a segue from your segue, but there's actually a Half-Life 2 mod where someone replaced all of the sound effects in the game with his own voice making all the sound effects in the game, including all the vehicles and everything, and it is possibly the funniest thing ever made.
Oh my god. All right, continue, Ben. Driving.
But continuing, yeah. So my original plan was to use like cruise control. So you would say, go 60, and your car would go 60 until you like yelled brake in a panic or whatever.
That would work. I think that would work.
Which I think works pretty well. The one thing I realized with that is that I think technically cops could be a lot more aggressive about pulling people over for speeding, because I didn't realize I was going that fast. It's a lot harder to buy when you have to say how fast you want to go. So that's not maybe great, but it's better than, having to go faster, slower, faster.
Why can't you just do that with the shower thing?
I guess you could. I guess I didn't think like...
Well, no, because it's not going to work in the shower, because the water temperature that come out is going to be wrong no matter what. Like, it's not like every shower 2/3 of the way over to the warm side is nice and warm. In some showers, it's still cold, and in some showers, it'll boil your skin off.
It also depends on the availability of hot water in your building at the time.
That is true.
That'll affect your like response. So like in a car, there are like mechanisms for cruise control. So I think, speed regulation is a thing that cars do. I feel like a shower is a bit more like, I'm sure we would try to get that technology, but at first, no.
Yeah, cars are more important.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's deal with that one first. We can take some like mild burns. Turning is a little tricky. I figured that eventually we get to the point where you could like say like the degree of turn you wanted to do. But then also like situations where you have to judge how far of a turn it is and then get it wrong and then like frantically be trying to course correct.
Oh god, yeah.
Which isn't great. But yeah, so I'll assume that eventually you do make it to work. Your job is going to be different, definitely. Depending on what you do, it could be very different. My job in particular is going to suck because I write code and most of the things I type are not words. So I'm going to be like spelling out
left square bracket, right square bracket.
Right, exactly.
Left square bracket, right square bracket.
So that'll be fun. So, I mean, it depends on what you do, obviously. Like, so I'm trying to think, are there jobs that are going to be easier? There's got to be something. Some jobs have to be, like, if you're like a chef, things don't really change, right?
Yeah, there are some jobs where things don't change.
Yeah.
Like an air traffic controller.
Well, that could get complicated because there's a lot of controls in front of you, and you have one mouth. And...
Oh god, flying a plane is impossible. Have you seen the control panel on a plane? Yeah, any job that involves staying in front of a large bank of controls is going to be painful. Or actually, maybe it's better because you just have like a list of things you can say then. Maybe that's actually easier.
You just have to remember them.
Well, I think it's just like, instead of having like a giant control panel, you just have like a couple sheets of paper that just say like all the stuff that it knows how to do.
I guess anything that requires like reaction time is not great.
Reaction time is a problem. Yeah, work will vary. Desk jobs. Oh, I guess one of the big changes with like a desk job is that it becomes very hard to like goof off at work. You can't just like, it's a lot more obvious when you like go check your fantasy football lineup because you have to say like, go to ESPN.
I feel like it'll just become accepted like eventually. Like when you work with somebody in like a small office and you like work with people enough, you walk by people's desks and you catch them like on their shit.
Oh yeah.
And after you do that like 3 or 4 times, like the next time you walk by, they don't even like X out. They don't even minimize anymore. They don't do like the open a spreadsheet and look busy for a second. They're just like, hey, you catch the game last night? I'm looking at my scores here.
That's true. So yeah, so work, it'll vary. I think one of the big thing I thought of is that it is going to change the way that people talk. Because I'm assuming people will still have like phones on them all the time. So we will have, this landmine of possible like,
you have to avoid certain phrases.
Yeah, like you just can't use the word call anymore. Like that's a word you can't say ever. And you have to be very, very careful about like the word buy.
The word delete.
Yeah, like I feel like you have to like, if you're talking about like a product, you probably, instead of saying the name of it, just like describe it in a way that people will understand what you're talking about, but your phone won't, which will be fun. So all of life will kind of be a series of like riddles to like,
things will be a lot less concise.
Yeah, which is kind of fun, in its own way.
Would people just switch to Pig Latin? Computers can never understand Pig Latin.
Yeah, that seems unsurmountable.
Their algorithms are not built for this.
What are they saying?
Good luck, Google. Check your database for this.
Oodgay, ukle, oogle gay. All right, anyway.
Oogle gay.
Oogle gay. It's way too fun to say.